Hey, hi, hello everyone. Thank you all for tuning back in to another episode. Woo woo. It's Friday, podcast day. Hey. Well, it's podcast day for me because I am recording. If you're new here, my name is Sierra. I am your host. And today I actually wanted to read some Reddit confessions and just read what people confess goes on and kind of just we can just sit and wonder what goes on behind someone's brain. How is it in the Inside Out 2 movie or Inside Out 1 movie? It's like, do you ever look at someone and go, what is going on inside their mind? I don't know. Um, but I literally am like, let's look up Reddit confessions and let's just wonder what is going on in other people's minds. So I actually came across this one and it's a confession as a server. And so they say, as a server, I have definitely given the wrong drink to a person after refilling identical drinks. And I was like, no, hold on. Definitely happened tonight in the heat of the moment with the full section. There is no chance I got it right. Lady with the lipstick was safe thanks to the mark on the straw, but two guys, sorry you indirectly kissed. Oh, no. I was like, you know what? I read that and I was like, I'm going to piggyback off that, though, because I used to be a server at Buffalo Wild Wings and at Teddy Jack's in Amarillo. And oh my gosh, you guys. First of all, this is why you always ask. Just ask them, can you just hold on to your straw for a second if they have a straw? And if they don't, don't overload yourself with more than you can handle. Because I, again, don't know how many times I'm going to say it on this podcast. I have the memory of a fish. I have Dory memory. And so I knew for a fact, when I was a server, I could only handle maybe 3 drinks max. Because I was like, okay, I would be walking the cups back to the back and I'd be like, okay, Sprite, Pepsi, Coke. Sprite, Pepsi, Coke. And the Pepsi and Coke would always look the same. I'd be like, all right, Sprite, you're good. Which one was the Pepsi? Which one was the Coke? And then I would have to literally look at it. And if I didn't know and I was not confident enough in myself, I would just pour it out and start over. And splash some water in there, wiggle it around to kind of clean the cup and then just start over. But then I'd be like, oh, wait, which cup was whose? Say an instance if someone wasn't using a straw. So then I would just go out of my way and get 2 new cups. I'm like, okay, at least I remember it's Sprite, Pepsi, and Coke. So yeah, the fact that this guy is just not going above and beyond, and he's like, I don't really care that much to just get 2 new cups. Sorry you guys just indirectly kissed. Bro, what if someone had something and now you indirectly gave it to the other person? Okay. Yeah, that's not good. Lawsuit, where you at? I also thought about another time, when I was a server. This is kind of a story time, really, at this moment, just because it was just the greatest thing ever. Anyone who has ever been in the serving world knows you starting off as a server, it's just so stressful because you have to learn the menu. You have to go to the little kiosks where you put the orders in, and then you have to learn where all the buttons are for specific items and the modifications. And I mean, you have to send you have to rush it to the cook sometimes. It's just crazy. There's a lot to know and a lot to learn. And becoming a server for the very first time, it's hard, it's stressful, and you just wonder oh my gosh, am I cut out for this? Am I good enough for this? And when I was starting out, y'all, I weighed 100 pounds, and they would expect us to carry our big, heavy trays, hold it all the way up above your head and carry it all the way to a table on a patio. And they're like, don't drop it. It's full. You've got all your food and your drinks up there. I was terrified. I would get so much anxiety. I was like, nope, can't do this. It's going to fall. So luckily, shout out to the boys that worked with me that were just built different, because they're like, I got you. I'm not doing anything. Let me just follow you to your table and then you can just hand them out. And I'm like, bet, say less. So yeah, serving was not it. But the story I wanted to tell you guys was about the very first time I ever got a serving job. It was at Buffalo Wild Wings. And I got a pretty big group with me. And my manager was like, hey, you're going to be handling this table. So-and-so from your section is running late. So I was also sharing a section with somebody because I was new. And they were like, so are you good to get this table on your own? I was like, I mean, it's like 6 people. Like, I should be good. That's not too terribly big. And I went over there. I had a game plan. I introduced myself, took their drink orders, gave them some time to look at the menu. I brought back their drinks. I was like, can you please double check that you got everything you wanted? Pepsi, Coke, Sprite, whatever. And they were super sweet at first. And I took their orders. Couldn't tell you what they ordered to this day. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to rush it just so that way, like, my manager's like, yeah, like, okay, we did a good job hiring this girl. So I rushed the order to the cooks. They, like, whipped it up really fast. Keep in mind, y'all, this is, like, 11 in the morning. So we were not busy at all. This was literally my only table. And then somebody else in that area, they were not in my section, but they were in the section next to me. They were running late, too. So they were like, hey, like, you have these 2 girls. And this was also in the summertime. So she was like, you have these 2 teenage girls, and can you handle it? Like, they literally just want, like, a basket of fries and some waters. I was like, oh, that's it? Like, yeah, I've got it. So I gave them their basket of fries and some waters, and I was like, yeah, you girls, like, call me if you need anything. I'm just going to be over here, like, cleaning my area, whatever, because we were also in charge of making sure the floors looked good at all times. So I was constantly having, like, a broom and a dustpan. And so my food came out to that, like, 6 top is what it was called, like, the number of top. Like, you have a 2 top, 3 top, you have a 6 top. So my food was ready, and I was like, okay, great. I'm going to go grab my food, take it out to the 6 top. I brought it out, and I was like, all right, guys. And I even remembered, you guys, I remembered who ordered what, because that's how badly I wanted to impress my manager. I was like, I want her to know I've got this. I don't need, like, to share a section with anyone anymore, because that's, like, half the tables for me and less money for me. So I'm over here. I gave them their food, and they were like, yeah, everything's hunky-dory. Like, it's great. No. They freaking, I turn around for 2 minutes, and then I come back to check on them. I'm like, hi, so how is everything still tasting? Can I get y'all more ranch? Would anyone like blue cheese? Blah, blah, blah. They were like, this is absolutely unacceptable. And I was just like, huh? Y'all, I felt like I was talking to a whole different table. I was just like, what do you mean? Like, y'all were so sweet literally 2 minutes ago. What changed? Did y'all change? And so I was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, what is going on? Let me see if I can, like, take care of it for you. I was like, I don't know. I was just trying to play the guessing game at this point. I was like, would y'all like some more refills? Would y'all like slices of limes for your waters? Lemons for your waters? I don't know. And they were like, these wings are way too cold. It's like they've been sitting on a window for hours. And I was like, huh? Like, girl, that's impossible. I literally rushed your order for all of y'all. And I had it out on y'all's table within like 10 minutes of the order being placed too. And there's 6 of y'all, and y'all all ordered like 10 plus wings each. So what do you mean? So I was just like, okay. And I was like, well, let me just grab my manager real quick, because I didn't know what to do. And I was just like, well, I don't want them to request my manager. So I was like, it's probably better if I just bring it up. So I was like, let me grab my manager real quick. I'm sure we can get this resolved. And keep in mind, you guys, I was only 19, literally 19 years old. So not even like old enough to actually be drinking any of the drinks that were on the menu that I was having to give to people. Like, I was just a baby. I was just a baby. And so I go and grab my manager, and I'm just like, hey, so they're like saying these wings are just like really cold. And I rushed the order, so there should be no reason that it's cold. And she was like, what? Let me see. And she was able to go and look at the timestamp of when I placed the order to when it literally was like, it was basically called ready by the cook. I forgot how they did that on their end. Anyways, but she's like, no, that's impossible. Like, it was literally rushed within like 10 minutes. I was like, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And they said that they thought it was like sitting out on the window for hours, whatever. So she goes to the table, and she's just like, hi, like, how can I help y'all? And they basically were just like, you need to fire this girl. She sucks at her job and giving us cold wings. And my manager, dude, I started crying. Like, obviously, I didn't let them see me. I walked away to the kiosk, but I was just crying because I'm like, dude, it's like, y'all, this is like literally, I've only been doing this for 2 effing days. Like, chill. Shout out to anyone who knew that was from Bretman Rock. But anyways, I was just like, all right, great, I'm gonna get fired because these little old women just, they're like shaming me, and I don't know how to defend myself. I'm the new girl. So my manager's like, no, that's not necessary. I'm not going to be firing her. She's very sweet and kind. And I actually, like, she printed off the receipt, you guys. I was, like, shocked. Like, she literally had receipts ready to go. And she showed them the timestamp. She's like, no, like, this is exactly when she put y'all's order in. And this is whenever our cook said that it was ready to go. So these have been, only 10 minutes from order to the table. So there's no reason they should be hot. And then the old women were like, well, we're not paying for it, so we want these to be free. And then my manager's like, oh, I mean, we can definitely take these off of your tickets, but y'all don't get to take these home. So either you pay for them and you leave, or you don't pay for them and I collect them as of right now and throw them away, because you're not going to get free wings and leave at the same time. We're not playing that game. So my manager, I was like, wow, she's such a baddie. Like, thank you for defending me. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep cleaning. There's no sense in hiding behind this kiosk. So I went and checked on my little two-top with those girls. And I was like, hey, like, how are y'all? Do y'all want more refills on water? And they were like, oh, actually, like, it's okay. Can we just get our check? And I was like, sure. Like, would you like it split? Whatever. They were like, no, like, it's totally fine. You can just keep it on one tab. And I was like, all right. So I grabbed their ticket. And then they were like, we're going to pay with cash also. And I was just like, sure, that's fine. So they gave me, like, exact change. And I think back then, like, a basket of fries was, like, I don't know, like $2, $3. And the water was free, obviously. So I was like, I mean, there's no reason for them to, like, give me a tip or anything. So they literally gave me $3. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Like, and then they left. And I was like, okay, I'll go clean their table here in just a minute. So I kept sweeping my area. And then finally those old women left. And my manager came up to me and she was like, hey, like, do not let that get to you. We have people that try to, like, stiff us all the time. They just want free food. She was like, you did nothing wrong. Like, you did everything right. And she's like, keep it up. Like, keep your head up. You did great. I know that was, like, your first time being on your own and it didn't go well, but there's going to be better days ahead of you. She was really such a kind manager. So I was just like, oh, thank you. Like, that means a lot. Well, then, guys, literally, kid y'all not, I went to the table and I was like, all right, I'm going to finally clean it. I grabbed the cups, I grabbed the fry basket, and I pick it up. You guys, oh my gosh, a $100 bill and a sweet little note. I kid y'all not, I was 19 years old when this day happened to me, but it was like, it left such an impact on my heart because I'm 26 now, but that's like such a vivid day that I remember. And the sweet little note, it was just like a tissue. And they were just like, keep up the hard work. Those girls are just being jerks. And we hope we can see you again here. And they just put like a smiley face. And then it said at the bottom, like, keep the tip with the heart. And I was just like, oh, my heart. So, yeah, I literally got tipped $100 on a $3 order. And I had just started that shift probably like 2 hours prior. So I was like, can I just go home now? Like, I had a rough start, but that made my whole day better. And I don't know, I just, like, I remember that day. It just left such an impact on me, and it made me realize how grateful I was to be a server at that time, because I'm like, wow, like, there are people that are going to treat you really poorly because they see you as nothing more than literally dirt itself. And they actually don't think you amount to anything, unfortunately. I think nowadays there's probably more respect, but back then it was just kind of like, if you were a server, you were going nowhere in life. And it really sucked to view it that way. Because honestly, you guys, servers make a lot of money. And I don't even think I make as much money now in my current career than I did in serving. So that says a lot. And yeah, I literally ended up pulling a double that day, and I went home with like, I want to say I went home with $300 in tips. So that was like, what, 2018? Yeah, like 2018. That was pretty good. That was pretty good for 2018 before inflation hit. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to share that story because I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I have so many stories, so many stories. I mean, there was even a time where a guy literally was just like, he was trying to tell me that he wanted another beer bottle. And he was empty, but I was currently taking another person's order at the bar. And I was just like, yeah, like, sir, I'll be with you in just a minute. Just give me one moment. And then he started whistling at me like I was a dog and snapping his fingers. And then he was like, come here, come here. And I was like, oh, you're cut off. You are so cut off and you are leaving. Like, that, I'm telling you, I've seen the greater side where people literally, truly are just like, no, you're doing great. Here's a tip. You're an awesome person. And then I see the lower side where people literally treat you like a freaking dog. And they're snapping at you and whistling at you like, come here, come here. And I'm like, no, 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 no. You're cut off. I will go grab my manager. You're done. You're going home. Bye-bye. So yeah, I don't know. That little Reddit confession just really took me down a rabbit hole. Okay, but on to the next. Okay, this one actually says, let's see. I made someone quit the internet when I was younger. Just like the title says, years ago there was this content creator who I thought was copying my content. I used to do things in a particular, unique way, and they likely had come across my content, liked it, were inspired by it, and just went with it. Now I can say it probably was like this, and would take no offense. But back then, I really took things personally and saw it as some kind of attack. At first, I messaged them and told them that I felt they were copying me and to please stop. They denied everything, blocked me, and continued to do the same stuff. After a while, I started getting fed up with it all and started plotting my revenge. Wait, what? Okay. You started plotting... Hold on, you guys. I clicked on the link to make it bigger and I messed up. Let's see. Okay. So I set up a group chat, added 4 fake accounts, okay, and started a conversation between them, essentially mocking the creator and coming up with the juiciest remarks that I could think of. Then took screenshots, censored the names, and anonymously sent them to the creator. A few days later, they quit the platform. They were probably paranoid because in the screenshots, I'd made it look like the people knew them personally. So they probably were going through their friend circles to try and find out who those people were. A short while after that, they quit the internet altogether and never came back. What? So yeah, that was the story. Since then, I've matured enough to look at my mistakes and to call myself out for my behavior. I have since reached out to them and apologized. Not that it makes a difference, but to just let them know how sorry I am for being vengeful, spiteful, a-hole, and for ruining their experience on the internet. At the moment, they have no social media accounts, no nothing, but I know for a fact they're fine. Someone who used to know them told me they've just moved to another state. Okay, what? Yeah. All right, that makes sense. Somebody in the comments was like, if this is the one worst thing you've done, you're probably an all right person. If this is part of a pattern, probs not. I don't know. And I literally am right there with them. Like, I don't even know what to say to that confession other than like, why would you go that far? Like, you literally plotted your revenge. You made fake accounts, fake personalities, like literally Smurf accounts. And like Smurf personality. I don't know. That's just wild to me. Okay. Interesting. I have no words for that one. I destroyed a woman's house and blamed it on her son. Oh, lordy. Okay, let's read that. Hello, fellow Redditors. This happened a few years ago. I had been on a drug called melanotin? Okay, anyone who knows how to pronounce that word, correct me. I don't know my drugs. Which is a tanning injection substance with a potent Viagra-esque side effect. Okay, all right. Yeah. I was feeling quite ravenous, not talking hunger. I went on Bumble and decided to find someone who could help me with my problem. I matched with a cute woman in her 50s, and she was on there looking for casual fun, so it was perfect. We exchanged info, and the next morning, it was arranged for me to come over and help water her flowers. Ew, are these old people talking? Like, why are you saying it like that? It had been quite a long time since I got some wound. Stop. I don't even know if I can finish this. This is too wild. Okay, so the excitement was supreme. I arrived the next day and she greeted me at the door with a hug. I was so effing angry. It was unreal, but I kept my cool. She got me some water and I sat on the couch. After some time, her 20-something-year-old son came out and introduced himself. I hated him immediately and he knew it. He insisted that his mom go to the store to get some more milk. She left and said she'd be right back. I was so lustful at this point that I even made moves on her son. Ew! Okay, this guy just sounds like a downright disgusting person. You guys, I'm sorry. I don't even think I want to finish reading this. What? Okay. All right. We're committing to it. Whatever. Okay, well, the son turned him down, thank goodness. I struck up some conversation with him. Do you and your mom get along well? I said. He said, no, she's always bringing over whoremongers like you and ruining my life. What even is this? Okay, that's where I drew the line. I may be a lot of things, but I'm no whoremonger. I stifled my fury and made some friendly banter with him until Bubbly Banter podcast. Okay. With him until he started to warm up to me. I noticed he had headphones around his neck, so I suggested he listen to Rain in Blood by Slayer. I did this so he wouldn't hear anything going on. He said he would, then went to his room. I then proceeded to the kitchen, and I threw all the dishes to the ground. I got my knife out and stabbed up all the couches and pillows and threw the fuzzy stuff everywhere. I emptied the fridge's contents and threw it to the ground, etc. After destroying the house, I waited for her to return. The son was probably too busy clopping on some stuff to notice. In the meantime, I cut a 7-inch cut on my right cheek. Oh my gosh, this person is literally a lunatic. And destroyed my phone with a hammer. I left the knife, hammer, and phone there, and when her car pulled up in the driveway, I threw the door open and staggered outside like I was crippled. She got out of the car and yelled, she got out of the car and I yelled, your son is effing crazy. He started breaking stuff and making a mess, and then he attacked me. He destroyed my phone with a hammer so I couldn't get help. You need to call the effing cops. I got in my car and sped off. That's when the regret hit me like a ton of bricks. I destroyed my phone, mangled my face, destroyed a car and sped off. That's when the regret hit me like a ton of bricks. No, hold on. Why is this? Okay. I destroyed my phone, mangled my face, destroyed a nice woman's home. And for what? So I could get revenge on some kid? I never heard from her or saw her again. TLDR, I met a woman on Bumble to hook up. Got cock-blocked by her son. So I got revenge by destroying a bunch of stuff in her home. That is just crazy. No. Someone in the comments literally said, you're an a-hole if this is true. This is the most unbelievable post I've ever read. Doesn't help that you've made a brand new account just to post this. Yeah, you suck at creative writing. Like, everybody here is just like, tomato, at least make it believable. No, all of this is insane, you guys. That one was like a waste of time because I'm like, bruh, there's no way. That's like out of a book. Like, a psychopath wrote it. Okay, y'all. I think on to the next. Okay, let's see this one. This one says, I realized I steal so often it becomes a habit of mine. I've stolen from many places, usually grocery stores. I'll see something I want and I won't even think about stealing it. I'll just do it without any thought or anxiety. I do it so often it's like a reflex. I've done it out of greed. I've done it out of desperation, and I've always justified it by thinking, well, they're huge corporations. They don't care. And I've deluded myself into thinking it's okay when in the back of my mind, I know it's not. I've been doing it since I was a little kid. I've stolen food, I've stolen clothes, I've stolen jewelry, I've stolen makeup, skincare, perfume, toys. Okay, so this is a girl. I've stolen so many things, it's disgusting. I've even stolen bolts from Home Depot. I don't need those, in all caps, all these exclamation points and question marks. Writing this out now, I think I have a problem. I've never stolen a huge amount of products at once, nor anything that's extremely expensive, but I don't think that really matters considering how often I steal. I've let myself become evil without a second thought, and I'm ashamed, but I want to put an end to this, and I'm going to now. I don't want to keep justifying my greed and selfishness. And I don't want to keep making myself think that I am an honest person when I literally steal every time I go to the store. I want to make up for my wrongdoings, but I'm not sure where to start besides acknowledging it and putting an end to it. Yeah. I mean, I think raise your hand if you have ever stolen before. Raise your hand. You guys, I'm raising my hand. Yeah, of course, like as a kid, I had curiosities. As a teenager, I wanted to be rebellious. I mean, as an adult, heck no. As an adult, heck no. Like, you think of that stuff more as you get older. You're like, I don't want to go to jail for that. I don't want to lose my license for my career for that. I don't want anything to backlash on me for something so stupid as stealing. So, I mean, yeah, like as a kid, yes. I've stolen chapstick from like Dollar Tree, Dollar Generals. I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, it's just like curiosity. Like, oh, curiosity killed the cat. Like, will I get away with it? One time, I actually opened a nail polish bottle at like a Dollar General in my hometown. And I just wanted to literally like paint one nail just to see the color. Like, everyone does it. Everyone literally, if you're gonna like buy a nail polish, you always crack it open and you either paint your like the tip of your nail, or you paint the little like the price bar right below it that is already marked up with all the other nail polish. Well, I literally barely cracked it open, painted the blue nail polish on. I was like, oh, I don't like it, and I closed it, put it back. This worker came up to me. She was like, you're gonna buy that. And I was like, what? She was like, you're not allowed to open that and not buy it. And I was just like, oh, I was just testing the color. Like, I think I was literally like 11 at this time, 11 or 12. I was so little. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not buying it. I just wanted to test the color, but I actually don't like it. And I even wiped it off my fingernail and put it on my pants. Because I was like, well, like, here, I'm just trying to prove to you I don't want it. And she's like, nope, unacceptable. You're buying it. And I was like, I have literally no money. I came to the dollar store, like, just to look around because I'm in a tiny old town with not even a McDonald's or a Walmart in sight. And our Sonic was shut down because that's how literally tiny this town is. We don't get enough business here. So I was just like, ma'am, I'm literally just here because there's nothing else to do on this Saturday. All of my friends are riding bikes somewhere else. So I had to call my mom and I had to tell her like, hey, they're like telling me I have to buy this nail polish. And so I remember it. My mom had to come down and buy stupid nail polish because I literally just cracked it open to try it on. So ever since then, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'll never do anything like that. That's so risky. I was so terrified. And then again, as like a teenager, I went to like Walmart one day and I was like, you know what? I want this lipstick. And I remember I asked my mom, like, Mom, can you buy this for me? She was like, no, you don't need that. And I was like, okay, fine. And then I like went walking around with like my brother at the time. Well, like, he's still my brother, but like at that time we were both living, at home. So I was like, we're gonna go walk around. And then I was like, swipe, and I put it in my pocket. And I was so terrified. I was like so scared to walk through those doors because I was like, what if it beeps and goes off? So like the anxiety was just like rushing through my body, and it just reminded me of that nail polish moment. And I was like, I don't want to repeat. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to juvie. So, I mean, like, it was literally just like curiosity killed the cat for me. But I don't know, people that just like, what is it called? It's like, is it called like klepto? I don't know. You just have that fiend to steal. I don't know how y'all do it. I'd be too scared. I think there's just too much riding on the line for me to be like, yeah, let me just steal this. Like, I don't got anything else going on. Like, no, I have like a whole life and career and family to think of. Like, what? So yeah, ballsy. That is ballsy. Oh, it's kleptomania. Okay, someone literally just said it in the comments. I was like, doesn't that make you like a klepto something? Kleptomania. Kleptomaniac. All right, you guys. Well, I genuinely enjoyed this episode today and just getting to do some Reddit confessions with y'all. That's, that second one was just really weird. My apologies. I don't even think that one was real. But yeah, we'll have a part 2 down the road sometime. Make sure you all tune back in for the next episode. And if you have not, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below with what you want to have me talk about next time. And yeah, make sure you also hit that post notification button so that way you are alerted anytime that I make a post. And see you all in the next one. Have a great Saturday. Bye.